Okay, I got my laptop, I got my wine, I am ready to go. Hello and welcome back to episode 2 actually of the Mental Health Perspective. Um my name is Kendra. I am a licensed mental health professional bringing you this lovely show. And today we are going to cover the Megan Thee Stallion interview. And we're just going to talk about it using some mental health points or just from a mental health standpoint. Okay. So, the first question that I have for everyone is what makes Megan Thee Stallion so unbelievable to y'all? And when I say y'all, I'm talking about the ones who keep saying things like, okay, we need more proof. I need to hear from Tory's attorney. I need to hear from his legal team. You know, those types of people. That's mainly who I'm talking to when I ask this question. And my biggest thing regarding those questions is there is literally proof that this woman was shot. Literal medical proof that this woman was shot. So from Tory's gun at that. Also, let's throw that in there. What more proof do you need that this situation happened? You know what I'm saying? Like most people, I've been following the case since it came out and since it hit the news. And of course, like many others, I go through the comments just to see what other people are thinking about the case. What are their thoughts, opinions, and perspectives? And I've been seeing some things that have been quite disturbing. And there are four major things that I keep seeing that are so repetitive and are probably some of the main things that highlight what's the missing link, I get, if you will, when it comes to recognizing Black trauma. So we'll get into those points, and I'm going to talk about each one of them just from a mental health perspective. Okay. So again, these points have been coming from both men and women, and again, like I said, they are disturbing to me, so to speak. Just being a therapist and just putting myself in a position as if I was actually Megan's therapist, I would be so disturbed by seeing these things and having to hear her story and see her kind of like go back out in the world and put on this facade like, oh, I'm a celebrity, I'm a rapper, I'm doing all of these things while also experiencing all of these traumas, like, you know, literally at the same time. But anyway, that's getting into another subject. Let's talk about the four consistent things that I keep seeing from everybody, and we're going to break them down from a mental health perspective. Okay. Number one, well, she's always rapping about dogging men out, so what's she crying about now? Really? Okay, first of all, rap is not real. Let's start there. Rap is literally a form of entertainment. It is a form of expression. How does rapping about sex cause someone, or how does that constitute her being deserving of being shot? I don't get how the two correlate. Some of you really hate to see women living in their light and being sexual beings, and it's scary. Y'all unrealistically want everyone to fit into this a woman in the streets but freak in the sheets category, and it's stupid and it's unrealistic, and it will never be that way. The world needs women like Megan, Cardi, Nicki, and every woman that became before them, and every woman who is coming after them. The world needs this type of thing. One woman's nakedness or sexual openness does not dim another woman's classiness or conservativeness light, so to speak. Both can coexist in the same place. So while somebody is over here being sexually open, dressing less, doing whatever the hell it is that they want to do, Other women can still be over here being classy and covered, and they can be together in the same room. One doesn't outshine the other, or one does not overrule the other just because of how a woman decides to live her life. And it damn sure does not constitute or cause someone to be deserving of getting shot. That's just overall weird and a not smart standpoint when it comes to this situation. Okay, the second thing that I keep seeing is the story's not adding up. Okay. Speaking about this from a mental health perspective, this very statement is where confirmation bias comes into play. Okay? Get your pencil out or get your phone out because I need you to write this down. We're going to talk about the definition of what confirmation bias is. Okay? Confirmation bias is the tendency for a person to find evidence or interpret information in a way that supports one's existing belief. Okay? In more simple terms, it basically means you find shit that matches your shit, and so you decide, okay, I'm gonna believe this shit. That's what confirmation bias is, okay? And every time, what I'm noticing with this case is that every time new evidence comes out, y'all find a way to still say it does not add up or it doesn't make sense, when the entire time that I've been following this case, Megan hasn't changed her story. She keeps saying the same thing over and over again. I'm not understanding how the story not adding up. What type of math are y'all doing? I don't get it. But again, going back to just what confirmation bias is, that's exactly what y'all are engaging in. You don't want to believe what she's saying, so you're finding ways to make the story not make sense. And that's just what it is at the end of the day. The third thing that I keep seeing that is painful to see is her tears are fake. Okay, again, a bullet hit her foot. Shards of bullets are still in her foot, and they were found in her foot. There's, again, medical proof that that happened. And getting shot or being shot at is a traumatic event, guys. Getting shot or being shot at is a traumatic event. But we've normalized violence and shootings so much that we forget that. When you aim and fire a gun at somebody, you're trying to hurt them or kill them, for the matter. If you pull it out on me, I'm just going to automatically assume that you want me to die. It's not a playing matter when you are trying to shoot somebody or when you're aiming a gun at someone. Anything could have happened to Megan or anyone around them at that moment. The bullet could have easily bounced or ricocheted off of someone and hit her in a spot that could have been fatal. That's trauma. That is trauma. And those are the things that I imagine people think about when they're being shot at, or if they get shot, that I could have died regardless of where the bullet hit you. I've never been shot, so I can't sit and speak for someone else's experience and say, oh, well, it wasn't a big deal. Yes, it is. It is a big deal. Again, she could have easily lost her life. And this girl also literally lost her mother and her grandmother at the height of her career. She has literally been through so much. And the nerve of y'all to say her tears aren't real. How? I'm surprised she hadn't broke down earlier, to be totally honest. Like, to me, she's been strong for a very long time. Okay, and leading into the fourth thing that I keep seeing is Megan Thee Stallion is the worst liar. She can't lie to save her life. Okay, again, if she is lying, how did the bullet get in her foot? Did she step on it? Like, How did the bullet get in her foot? And regardless of what her and Tori's relationship was, whether they were intimate or not, is still not grounds for her to get shot. Y'all keep bringing up how she paused or stopped for a moment when Gail asked her the question about their intimacy. Again, how does that indicate that she's being deceptive? Because she paused before she answered the question. And again, is there intimacy or non-intimacy? Is that grounds for her to be shot? What difference does it make? Because it still happened and there's evidence that she was shot. And then y'all also have to realize that intimacy is different for everybody. So she could have sent him some pictures, or they could have flirted or whatever, and still not had sexual intimacy. And for her, that might not mean anything just because she did those things. Intimacy means different things for different people. And like I said, overall, that's not grounds for her to be shot, regardless. Going back to confirmation bias, that pause that she did was exactly what y'all needed to just spin this story exactly how you wanted to spin it and choose not to believe her. That pause is just another little piece of evidence that y'all added to y'all little mixture of BS to come up with a reason to not believe her. That's all that is. Pausing before answering a question does not indicate that you are lying about something. She said they weren't intimate. Okay, that's what she said. Period. Like, why make it into something else? I feel like this video has been like the mental health perspective mixed in with the rant. But I'm just, this baffles me. I'm very passionate about women. I am very much against domestic violence. Domestic violence is just kind of like a big thing for me. It has not been an experience of my own, but it's just one of those things that I hate to see people go through. Also, just being a sexual assault therapist is very much a trigger for me when people aren't believed. And that doesn't mean that lies don't happen or that they don't occur, but to just completely disregard somebody's trauma, I think that's what sends me over the edge. When we just flat out disregard what a person experience has been. But overall, when it comes to this case, I feel like it's not being taken as serious as it should. I feel like it's being minimized by law enforcement. I feel like it's being minimized even by the court system. And more than anything, I feel like it's being minimized by Black social media. I hate to say it. This goes back to the point that I made in my very first episode. People do not take Black mental health seriously. This girl is literally sitting right before our eyes experiencing intense trauma. What Megan is going through is trauma. Trauma is something that physically and mentally impacts you. She's literally grieving the loss of her family, her immediate family. This girl does not have anyone that she is immediately close to anymore, here in physical form. She got shot at by somebody that was supposed to be her friend. And then all of this happened again at the top of her career. And on top of the everyday celebrity ridicule that she probably has to deal with. And the first thing that we do is say, knowing all of that information that I just laid out, grieving the loss of her family, getting shot, all of that. The first thing that we do is say she's attention seeking. Y'all. The first thing we do, knowing all of this information, and this is just the surface. This is just the beginning. We don't know any of her backstory. I know her dad was in jail. That's trauma. So on top of all of that information that we know, the first thing we say is she's attention seeking. That's so sad. That is so sad. we've again normalized violence and struggle so much that we cannot recognize when an actual traumatic event is. We have, I don't know what happened, but my video like cut off and I was so scared it got deleted, but it didn't. But I was ending my video by saying overall, we've normalized violence and struggle so much that we cannot even recognize when an actual traumatic event is occurring. And I feel like it's my job and it's my duty to express that and continue to just put this out here and put this in everybody's face. But we got to do better. We got to do better than what we're doing when it comes to our mental health. And that doesn't mean that we're not doing anything, because things are definitely changing for us. We are prioritizing it more. We just got to get ourselves over that next hump. But it's good to see that Megan is prioritizing her mental health. I know she mentioned and talked about being in therapy, and I thought that was such a beautiful thing. I cannot wait to see her ascend beyond this situation, and beyond the things that are holding her down and, just making her not be in a good space and become even better. Like I said, I love her so much. I don't even know her personally, but I love her, and I really hope that it all goes in her favor. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning into the Mental Health Perspective. Stay tuned for another episode. Bye.